Hello, everybody. My name is Cloud Kill Connor, and we are back for another thrilling installment of Crossroads, a Hunters and Cars game, a supernatural-inspired TTRPG based off the incredible Hunters Entertainment Kids on Bike system. I am your humble lawmaster for today's adventure, and I am joined by Clem. Introduce yourself for me.
Hello, my name is Clem. You can find me on Twitch at xClementine. I am playing Ella Young, otherwise known as SpectreElla, who is out here trying to find a real ghost and hopes to save her dying YouTube channel.
We'll see how it goes, huh? All right. Next up, Arlo, tell the people who you are.
Hi everyone, my name's Arlo, or Arlentric on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I am a TTRPG and D&D short and long form content creator, and today I'm playing as Father Montgomery, a priest. No further questions, that'll do. Let's just hand it over to the next person.
We love a pious man. All right, Jacob, let him know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Jacob. You can find me online at JrSchorlunch. That's JrSchorlunch. I'm a professional dungeon master and a commissioner of cosplays and digital art. And I'm playing Augustus Auggie Calhouln, who's just trying to rekindle all the relationships that may or may not have fizzled out. And he's going to find love, damn it.
Here's hoping. All right, Omega, who are you?
Hello, everybody. My name is Omega Jones, also known as CritBard everywhere. Crown still on Twitch. He, they pronouns. I am playing the person Auggie thinks he's going to get back with. Archibald, Grimhollow, also known as Archie. Very old man, very grumpy man, very. That's me.
Incredible. Savannah, who are you?
Omega, you forgot to add very British.
very British. Yes, correct.
And I'm Savannah. I am the DIY Witch on Instagram, Threads, and now Blue Sky. And also at Not Quite Novelist on YouTube and Instagram. And I'm going to be playing Penny Lancaster, a spooky, grungy travel blogger who did not know that this was going to be as big of a deal of a hunt as it is, and so she invited Ella here for a collab and immediately regrets it.
I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen. Lockie, bring us home.
How you doing? My name's Lockie from the Mimic Den. We are on Instagram currently, branching out Blue Sky, TikTok. We are a TTRPG podcast with some actual play coming through, doing a little bit of storytelling and world building there as well. I'm playing Gerard Cole, the supernatural antiquities dealer. There's nothing suspect about that, I promise.
Can't a man just go to Antiques Roadshow without being called suspicious? Okay. Not in this neighborhood. Well, with that being said, let's dive straight in. Trees bow in the wind as sheets of rain blanket the earth. It's nighttime at the Silverbrook Motel. The neon sign cuts through the darkness, promising vacancy to weary travelers. But the cars pulling into the lot tonight, they're not carrying weary travelers. One by one they arrive, black station wagons all identical, rolling in like a funeral procession. The first car's doors open. Out steps a man in a crisp grey suit. He pauses, adjusts his wire-rimmed glasses in the car window. Everything has to look normal tonight. Even if his trunk is filled with things that are anything but normal. Candles of human fat, chalk ground for bone, and symbols written in tongues that died before Jesus Christ. Ding, ding, ding. The bell above the door chimes as he steps into the lobby. We see the receptionist glance up from her magazine, noticing more cars pulling in through the rain-streaked windows. She pipes up, "Some kind of convention, huh?" The man's smile doesn't quite reach his eyes behind the glasses. Some kind, yes. The pen scratches against the register as he writes his name down and is given the key to room 6. Outside, more men in grey suits step out of their cars, each carrying a same black briefcase as our initial man. They move wrong, like they're all puppets being pulled by the same strings. Well, hope you all enjoy your stay. Coffee's fresh in the morning. Thomas just nods. He knows there won't be a morning. Not for Betty, anyway. Down the hallway now, room 6 looks just like any other. Cheap wallpaper, sagging bed, the usual ugly painting above it. But Thomas sees what it could become. What it will become. Click, he opens the briefcase, he pulls out a jar of red paint, except it's well too thick to be red paint, too dark. The others file in without a word, forming a circle around a woman sitting in the middle of the room. She's bound to a chair, tears streaming down her face, but a gag to keep her quiet. You see Thomas climbs onto another chair, dips his finger into the jar and reaches up. The camera follows his hand as a symbol starts to take shape on the ceiling. Curves and triangles and lines and dots, all ancient things that don't look correct to the human eye. The paint drips down occasionally, black in the shadows but red as it catches the light. The chanting starts low, a dozen voices speaking words that weren't meant for human tongues. The symbol begins to glow, casting this sick red light across their faces. Smoke curls from the edges of the paint, and then on the window, you see the woman's hand slamming against the glass. Her face appears, eyes wide with terror as these flames begin to lick up the walls behind her. The chanting grows louder, drowning out her screams as the fire consumes everything. And we slam to title card. But that is where we are right now. The screen pierces through you, Ella, reverberating in your chest as you see this woman slamming her hand against the glass again and again and again, each desperate hit echoing through the clearing. Her eyes are wide, hollow, brimming with terror, and her mouth is stretching into the silent plea. The motel is shrouded in mist, the fog twisting around it, and everything about this feels wrong. But this could be it. Your big break. Real evidence. Real footage. The kind that could put your channel back on the map. What are you doing?
Zoom! Enhance! Zoom!
Incredible. You zoom in on the lens there and you can see this woman, this face filled with terror and fear, and you can see these flames licking up behind her. What are you doing?
I think in this moment, Ella will be frozen because every single ghost hunt that she has been on ever, it has been like a lot of feeling. And so to see an actual person in this window is bone chilling. So frozen, trying to just film it. Usually she would have some sort of commentary that is going on, but there is just silence. The only thing that she will now do is kind of like, you hear the heavy breathing, and I think this is when she's going to notice that she's alone. I would like to go towards the. Is this on the second? Like the room 6? Is it on the?
It's on the second floor. I'll paint a slightly better picture of the motel quickly as well, just for everybody. So effectively, what you see in front of you is in the clearing itself, a larger kind of office building that's like slightly disjointed from the rooms themselves, but you can see like almost like a bit of like not a tunnel, but like a covered pathway leading towards them. So you could get in through the office building and walk your way around, or you could go straight up to the doors there and try and enter in. But it looks like these stairs up to room 6 you'd have to go inside to get into it.
Okay, this is going to be not necessarily very useful, but it is very instinctual. So I gotta find the biggest rock that I can and try and piff it at the window.
Ooh, incredible. I love that. Make a strike roll for me.
Okie dokie. What is my strike?
And I will say the DC for this. Are you getting a little bit closer or are you staying put?
I'll get like a little bit closer, but I don't think it's going to matter because that's a 2.
Incredible. It was going to be a 10, so definitely a failure there. Yeah, you throw the rock there. You see it just bounces off like the facade of the hotel down the bottom. And meanwhile, the heat and the flames emanating from this room, you can almost start to feel them in like a physical sense, even though you are quite far away.
I think that seeing a woman who's getting like burnt alive, I think this is a ghost, or would I want to try and help them? This would be a moment where I think it is probably better to aid, because I truly believe that if anyone sees a person in a window. That even though I'm looking for a real ghost, I'm not necessarily going to make the jump that this is a real supernatural being. So I am going to run upstairs and try and open room 6.
And I can't fault you for it in any sense of term. Incredible. Your feet are moving as you have this thought, these weeds tangling around your legs as you're sprinting for. You crash through the rotted door of this office, and you can see that there is a burnt-out receptionist desk here. The whole room has been completely licked with flames. This place has been effectively gutted by fire. You make a breakneck pace down this hallway here. The camera hasn't passed you. You see a sign in there that says the grand opening date of the hotel, which is March 16th, 1973. As you continue to pass through there, you race up the stairs instinctively, following to where room 6 would be on the outside, and you are met with the door. You see the number emboldened on the door there, room 6, and it looks like a handprint, but from the other side of the door has tried to push out.
Okay. All right. Pushed out. Ugh. Okay, well, I'm going to try the door.
Okay, beautiful.
What was the
Yeah,
first thing?
you open the door and it swings open.
Nailed it. So I'm gonna open the door and
Brilliant.
is it on fire?
Yeah, beautiful. You stick your head in, and I think that probably the juxtaposition immediately hits you. It is freezing in here. It is stifling. You can see your breath fogging in front of you as you peek your head in. The little flashlight beam starts to kind of flicker and waver a little bit.
In classic ghost hunter fashion. Hello?
Incredible. Are you stepping into the room, or are you just keeping your head in right now?
I'm gonna readjust my little vlogging camera, which I think that while I was running, wasn't filming anything, but I'll take this moment to readjust, and I will step inside.
Beautiful.
Oh, pause, pump the brakes. How much time has passed? There's a lot that's happening. You don't even know. There's no way that we let this little girl walk through room 6 by herself. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to let it happen. But there's too many things happening now.
Okay. Bear with me for 2 seconds. Narratively. Okay. Step into room 6. Freezing air, breath emanating out behind you, and the door slams shut behind you. And we cut away from that. We pick back up on the rest of our group there. This raven mocker is just flown away. And Auggie and Archie, you are left there in the stillness after this creature has just fled. This darkness spell still emanating across. You guys can see each other, and I will say for the purposes of this, Archie can designate who can be seen through the darkness effectively, and you two can still see each other.
Would I be with them at this point? Because I remember I fell and then I turned around and went
You're
back
running
forward.
back. Beautiful.
Then.
Yeah,
Would I be with these two?
I think at this point as well, almost like a bit of a guiding light, you can see Penny in the distance. She's stumbled, she's fallen, and she's run back over to you guys. So we pick back up the scene with Auggie, Archie, and Penny together.
Are you two okay? And I think Penny likes to see that camera. It's like, is that what this is? That's okay. Okay.
We're fine.
Yeah, but don't ask where you got it, because he'll have to race you.
This I don't really care, honestly, as long as it helps us. I lost Ella. She ran ahead and I fell and I can't find her. We gotta go. I don't know where she is. And I think I'm just gonna turn around and run back.
You guys following?
Looks at Auggie. Really? This is the group.
Listen, I didn't pick them, all right? We can blame Hank on this one, all right? This ain't my fault.
Make sure anything else that was lost is grabbed, and we'll...
Yeah, you do a quick sweep, pick up everything that you dropped while you were sorting through your bag. Before you guys rejoin Gerard and Father Montgomery, you guys have this beat where you've lost Ella, and you don't know where Penny went. What are you guys doing?
we have a sense of direction as to which way SpectreElla went? Did anyone clock that?
I think you can see where the trees are beginning to thin.
Cool.
I think your probably best assumption is if she's gone anywhere, it's the path of least resistance.
Well, if I'm remembering right, Gerard and I helped Penny up, and then Penny ran the opposite direction, so I think Father would have just beelined it towards the assumed direction of SpectreElla, because I was on babysitting duty and not doing a very good job at that. So,
Yeah, I think I would have done the same there. Can I ask though, is there any sort of residue left from that candle burning?
Make a law check for me.
Very well.
We'll call it a DC 10.
An 11.
Ooh. I think yes. I think that as you begin to make your way through the trees following Father Montgomery, you can see on the trees it's almost left like an ashen type of residue on there that you could really like scrape the bit of bark off and take it with you if you wanted to.
I would want to, please.
Wonderful. Yeah, so you take a little bit off, stow it away for later. I would say at this point, for the sake of brevity, as you guys are making your way towards the edge of the clearing, the rest of the group joins up with you there, and you guys are all reunited in this forest.
We're in the forest, we're not at the motel.
Not yet, no.
Okay, cool.
Pushing forward, the trees begin to thin, and you can see a strange kind of like, it's almost like the sun is spotlighting this spot in particular. You burst through the tree line and the Silverbrook Motel stands before you. The structure is slouched and decaying. It's almost like it's sinking into the ground, the forest swallowing it. You see there's some vines creeping up the wall, wrapping around the faded letters of the motel sign. What once would have been a flickering neon is now busted bulbs. There's a scent in the air, like earth and rot and something metallic. You step forward, your boots crunching on the undergrowth here. You're presented with the facade of the motel. What are you guys doing?
is it still burning?
No, absolutely not. It's completely still.
Do we see any sign of movement, of life, of anything around the motel?
Give me a
Because I
reflex.
think... Alright.
Reflexes check. It's only going to be a DC 8.
Okay. I'm doing this one. Okay.
When was the motel last?
Sorry. Jacob, you go first. What were you asking?
Okay. When was the motel last operational?
Probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this seems fast for the force to be taken over.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it does. It seems like this was a conceited effort by something.
His mind, he looks over to Archie and goes, it's like nettle bugs all over again.
Yep. And you see that he's taking out an EMF meter right now.
Yep.
From his food place, just to get the usuals going. At the very least, there's a ghost problem, probably. So he's got that. You can tell that the gun that he has, he's already stowed it. Actually, no, he'd probably be changing out some bullets for some rock shot bullets. So if he's just in case he needs to pop out with that. But he's just in full detail mode before they head in.
Absolutely. Okay. Penny, with that, you got a 9 on the 8?
9, yeah.
Beautiful. It is eerily silent. There's no wind to rattle these broken shutters. There's no distant noise that can seem to permeate this clearing right now. It's like everything is just closed off in here.
Did I see any sign of Ella at all? Did I see her, like, maybe she dropped something, no footprints, no nothing like that?
What you can see is the busted-in door from the lobby, effectively. This decayed door has been forced open, and someone has obviously traipsed through.
Okay. But I can't, can I tell that it was busted open recently as opposed to the decay of everything else?
I think that this looks recently disturbed.
Okay.
I don't think.
I
You go.
I was gonna say I don't think Penny is really waiting on anyone else. I think she is scared for Ella and she just wants eyes on her. So she's just gonna walk ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Walking in, your feet are crunching on this moldy, rotted, broken wood. You can see like a small little bell that would have been attached to the door at one point has like fallen off to the side and is sitting in disrepair. Stepping in, you can see this flame-gutted building. It's like the fire just completely consumed this place. And I would say, give me a law check. Give me a law check and the DC will be 10.
Oof, okay. This might not be great. Nope. It's a 1.
Okay, that's fine. Take a fate token. Remember, if you're failing a roll, take a fate token. What I will say is, it is hard to tell where the fire here originated from. Yeah,
Okay.
you're not sure as to the point of ignition, effectively.
So, because it is, the whole building is like flame engulfed, but I see that the doors kick in. Is there soot or dust on the ground? Can I see footprints? Can I see any sign that any more recent disturbances around?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that, like, traipsing through the path here, there is footprints, but there's actually a few sets of footprints. You can see there's probably more recent ones there, but there is another set of 2, probably like a bigger set and a smaller set as well.
Okay. I do think on my way, I'm going to see whatever I think is the most recent set of footsteps. I'm going to call just Ella. Ella, are you here? Did you make it? And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead. The gun that I had like at the ready is still kind of in my hands and I'm waiting for it. I'm going to go ahead and spend, 2 fate tokens to activate a pale blue rune on the side of the revolver.
Nice. Very cool. You see this rune on the side, layers to life, casting a pale blue shadow across the debris of this room. What are the rest of you guys doing?
As soon as Penny had gone in, I'm behind her, and I stick my head and go, you see that little YouTubing twink? Where's she at? Is she in here?
I don't. Well, I think these must be hers, and I point down to the front steps. So I think I think these are hers. Ella, where are you?
Well, Archie just really quickly looks to Father Montgomery and Gerard. Have you ever dealt with ghosts before?
Once or twice.
Once or twice.
You have iron on you.
Of course. Do you need some?
You will see he like flicks his wrist and there's an iron shiv that kind of comes out of his suit jacket and he'll click it back in. I'm fine. Making sure the 2 of you are. Just clearly, he looks at the 2 who have already run in. No preparation.
None whatsoever.
Father's I want to use gifted to use a bit of pyrokinesis in one of my hands and made a flame. I'm going to use the light and then with my other hand still holding it. Before I use pyrokinesis, I want to twirl the rosary beads that are attached to my Glock in my hand and just, forgive me, Father, for I must sin. And then I'm going to go into the house with using the flame as a guiding light and kind of cut my way in front of the group.
I fear that was very cool, and you get a fate token for it.
Yes, yeah.
That was kind of spicy.
Is it hot in this room, or did I just not turn my fan on?
We'll look back at Gerard and follow suit. Figure. We're all good to go.
Absolutely. Father, as you step forward into the lobby here, that flame in your hand, what's the color and the nature of the flame?
It's a much brighter golden flame, very big fella upstairs watching over me kind of energy. So it's not as orange, or it's much more vibrant than a typical flame. And if I see similar footsteps, instead of I think assessing them as Penny and Augustus might be, I think I'm just going to start following them intrinsically.
Stunning.
lighting the way.
As you do step in, that sacred flame lights the... Thanks. That sacred flame lights the roof up as you walk in, and you can see this red reflection seem to kind of bounce around the room from where you are. Turning your head up, you look to the roof, and everything else is gutted by the flames here, but there is this section of the roof that is completely fine. And you catch the red reflection, and it looks like this symbol. It's like a triangle with a line going down the center, dots on either side, and this circle at the bottom.
Does that symbol mean anything to me?
You can make a lore check for me. And you can
Very
point it out to
fun.
anybody. Anybody that steps in can make a lore check.
I think
DC
light
is
point the flame upwards to show that the symbol is there, and then lore check.
Yeah. So DC is 12, I will say for this. It's a little harder.
Ooh. All right.
19.
Oh!
9, and I'll burn a fate token to get to 10 as well, just so I can.
You can, because I'm within your vicinity, you can use 1 to count as 2.
Fantastic. Then 11.
I did say it was 12. I redacted myself there. So if you want to burn 2...
2 down. I've got 7, so that's fine.
Burn them like...
I have zero fate tokens right now. What happened?
Archie was just surviving on like good luck at this point. So
Really?
Archie just
failed?
hasn't failed. Yeah.
No, it's not that Archie hasn't failed, it's Archie doesn't fail.
pride often comes before the fall, Jacob. I need you to know that.
What are you talking about?
Don't sign me up.
Okay. As you guys all look up at the symbol above here, Archie, you are incredibly well versed in symbology. It's part of your job. It's your bread and butter, effectively. And you know what these symbols mean separately. All of this makes sense. That triangle is a mountain, and that's often like, holy, God-based, Olympic on high. That line itself generally denotes something tethered, going beneath. And then whatever that circle is, it's a gathering, it's a presence. I think putting them together, and then Father, you probably clocked this at the same time. You're like, there's something beneath the mountain there. Something is tethered beneath the mountain.
What does the circle mean?
The circle itself is like a gathering of something, a gathering of energy, a gathering of...
And it's underneath the line in the mountain.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
So triangle there, line going down, circle gathered underneath.
And just so we're understanding, we're in a rural area. We're not on anything hilly, are we? Mountainous?
Not currently, no. There are mountains nearby.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Clocking that, I think just from probably locking eyes with Father Montgomery. Whatever has been here seems to be part of a cult or something.
Julie, is where this... Would I be able to clock if this kind of seems like that'd be a room upstairs with where that symbol is?
I think looking up there, you know that is the roof of the building completely. Like,
Okay.
that's it. There's nothing above that. But
Sure.
I'll say as you're venturing further in, and Penny and Auggie, as you guys venture further in, you see the light kind of flickering back from the father there, and you look up at this point too, and there's another symbol in this hallway. And it's the same situation where that's the only part that isn't burned, and you would say that it's probably equidistant between the start and the finish of the hallway.
It's the same one.
You don't know what the other symbol looks like yet. I don't know if you got to look at it, but for the purposes of the players, it's the exact same symbol.
Cool.
Okay, yeah.
Auggie would look back because he knows that Archie is trained in this. Goes, Archie, do we need to change out buckshot for salt? We keeping this.
That was going to be my question. Seeing something like this, there have been symbols for summoning ghosts and things of that nature, but also typically it's about keeping the bones and all that. This is looking a little more esoteric, for lack of a better word. Do I think there's a different entity or type of creature we're about to deal with?
What I will say is, because you had the EMF meter out before, it would be in your nature to kind of just like give everything a little bit of a scan. It is whirring as you bring it up to these symbols.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that triggers as something else or whether you're like, it could still be something tethered to said symbol.
Well, I mean, people died here, so ghosts are probably tethered here. So that's not the worst thing to note. Oh, so yeah, he'll look at his meter, seeing it kind of like worrying as they walk and look back at the group. I think we should keep what we have in mind, but also clearly there's something above and potentially far below.
We cut back to Ella. As in the distance, we hear Penny's voice ringing out. We hear that. Ella doesn't. As the sound itself seems to be swallowed by the motel. You've stepped inside the room there. You can see another charred, gutted room. The smell of smoke pervasive. There's a mattress sagging in the corner, but it is freezing in here. And in the corner, you can see the figure that you saw crouched down, arms wrapped around her body, face hidden by her hands, and her form's kind of flickering like an old TV. You see these just kind of like silent racking sobs, and the temperature drops another degree. What are you doing?
Well, considering that this character doesn't necessarily know that this is an actual entity, this is a sobbing woman in Ella's eyes. There is concern over what has occurred, especially looking at the area. The thoughts of Maya and Logan running through her mind of what is going on. So she will put her camera away. And she'll pull out some water, like her water bottle, and she'll just say, "Hey, are you okay? Can I, like, she gingerly steps forward. Can I offer you some water? Are you all right?
Can you go ahead and make a charm roll for me?
Oh yeah, yes, I can absolutely.
The DC is 15.
I'm going to burn a singular fate token to get 15.
Probably a good move. You take a step closer. Your little flashlight on your shoulder there catches her as she looks up, and you can see the face now, hollow eyes, wide and empty, like a
ice cream.
Yeah, absolutely. This scream echoes out, and you just see her stand up to this full height, not an impressive height, but an imposing height, as she turns around, and she lets out this guttural scream in response to yours.
Do we hear the scream? Do I hear the scream?
You do.
I am running if I hear the scream.
Give me 1 second. Absolutely. Both of these dual echoing screams reverberate out through the hotel, and you can see this pleading, eyeless face looking at you, and you feel this cold tendrils and fingers start to poke into the back of your head. Can you give me a grit roll?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No sweat.
DC's 10.
Oh, I lost my dice. That's how nervous I was rolling it. I should get another one.
Oh my God.
10?
Yes.
That's a 5.
Okay. The last thing you hear is just, "It's late beneath the mountain. You shouldn't be here." Before we cut away. Down in the lobby, you guys hear these dual screams reverberating out from the hotel. What are y'all doing?
Sprinting up the staircase and shoulder button through whatever door
I'm
that's coming
running
from.
as fast as I can.
Absolutely. You guys begin to run up the stairs there, passing through. You can see these doors just like flicking past all the different rooms there. This place is gutted, charred. You make your way up the stairs. You can see the door of room 6 there, and you can feel this presence. I think without even an EMF made of necessary, it's this oppressive, heavy, like ozone type of presence. As you step through there, who's leading the charge?
Well, I was ahead
The
of
father?
Would you have put past me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to make sure that, Penny said she was going,
Okay.
But I said I started walking ahead of everybody else, like.
Good point, actually. No, that is a good point.
Okay. I would
so
say...
I wasn't paying attention to the rooms.
Okay, incredible. We'll say it's Penny first, Penny, and then the father behind. Penny, the door is in front of you there. What are you doing?
I mean, I kick the door open. I burst in as much as I can.
Incredible. Make a strike roll.
Okay. Wait, what was the DC?
The DC is going to be just a 5.
Oh, I got a 5. Cool.
Incredible. Beautiful. Boom. Boot slams into the door there as it swings open. And we see Ella. Or should I say maybe Anna in this respect right now, as you see a series of unfamiliar faces step in and this presence sits heavy in your mind. Ella, you're like a backseat driver right now. This is going to be a little bit of combat, effectively, as Ella has been possessed by the spirit of Anna. Okay.
No!
All right.
I was hoping I would have enough time to know.
Not quite. Not
Let's go! Let's go! I'm so excited! But as Soul's character, I got nothing.
Okay.
I have a gun. I'm not going to shoot Ella.
Okay, so what's going to happen here is we're going to have a very loosely based like initiative order in the sense that I'm going to get everybody to roll a reflex check for me. All right, Penny, 11?
Yep.
Incredible. Who's next?
I got a 6.
6. Stunning.
I also got a 6.
I got an 8.
Okay, I'm going to grab a book because I think it's going to be easier on a book. 1 second.
So
Okay.
I'm so ready.
Okay, incredible. So,
My heart is in my throat.
just from the top of it, we have Penny at 11. Arlo, what'd you get?
8.
8. Okay. Clem? 6?
6.
Also 6.
6. Thank you. Omega?
4.
4. Okie doke.
I'm old.
I'm distracted by runes.
I'm older, and I got a 5, so...
Ooh.
I'm British.
Okay, say less. We know.
So yeah, that's a decade.
Okay. Cool. Beautiful. So, like I said, it's a contested roll system in the sense where you make the roll and then the other person tries to resist in that effect. The nature of the attack, if you can justify the roll to me, works for me. It's pretty straightforward in that sense. So, at the top of our loose order here, we've got Penny. Penny, you've burst into the room, and you see effectively Ella standing there, looking none the wiser. Oh, yeah, I suppose you probably look a little bit possessed, we'll say.
I was like, yeah, can I tell? If it looks like Ella, can I tell she's been possessed?
Make a
Or
law
do I
make a
have to
law
look
check
like-
for me. And
Okay, fine.
Ella, you're going to resist the law check with a grit check. So what's going to happen is Ella's going to set the DC.
Can I be a little bit cheeky and suggest a charm check?
You can absolutely suggest a charm check. That
Yes.
sounds much better.
I'm scared.
Ugh. My highest dice, and yet let's find out what the DC is.
You set the DC. What was the charm roll?
Oh, it's only a 6.
It's only a 6.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Okay. Make
Now, will I spend some fate tokens? No, it's not. I only rolled a 3.
Okay. Are you spending them or not?
Not yet. I don't think so.
Okay.
Keeping them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so fine. You step in there. Ella, Anna, what do you say to Penny?
Would Anna know who Penny by any chance?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
But I think we'll say that you have access to Ella's memories on a loose base.
I like the idea of Ella and Anna, kind of the dual vocal coming out of like, "Hello, Penny."
So I think for a second I saw you. I had this moment of like, oh, okay, and then I heard that.
Yeah.
I
And
was
then
like,
I
nope,
think that's
nope,
what triggers
nope.
it, but you don't act on this round then effectively. Okay, next up, Father. What's happening?
Great. So I've heard that.
You've heard
whatever
the
that was.
dual
Amazing.
voices coming out there, absolutely.
I think immediately, because possession, lower the gun, because now that's complicated. And I'm going to reach down to my waistcoat and uncork a bottle of holy water.
Nice.
and just try and throw the contents onto Ella now.
Incredible. Make a strike roll for me to get the holy water onto her.
Amazing.
Do I roll to...
You're going to roll a grit. Absolutely.
Grit or reflex?
Reflex, we'll call it.
Yes. Sorry, this is just me trying to get the most out of my dice.
Hey, listen, if you're actively working against the party, that works great for me.
All right, Father.
All right, Father, what'd you get in the strike roll?
8, which exploded, and then a 5, so 13.
Oh, okay, so that beats it more than 5 because I only got a 7.
All right, absolutely. You hurl this holy water at the now possessed young woman that you were put in charge of to look after. You see that it hits her skin there, and for the briefest second, nothing seems to take effect, but then it sinks in and it starts to sizzle up there. Anna/Ella, for the purposes of this, just mark down one minor injury.
Can I say something cool?
Of course.
Can you?
Holy water doesn't just burn, it purifies. Let's see, and then I think locking eyes with whatever entities inside. Let's see how much sin you're carrying. And then sizzle away.
Oof, 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 oof. Spectacular. All right. It is now Ella's and Gerard's turn. I will let you guys decide who goes first.
Well, I just got hit with holy water, so I'm reacting.
Okay, absolutely. So we'll say, Gerard, what are you doing?
I think Gerard will look at the holy water there. He'll take a small knife, spin it and cut his hand, clasp around the blood that's spilling out, and will speak really low for a second. Earth flames, get out of her. And I will use pyrokinesis on my hand as well, and then just dive forward and try and clasp her around the throat to push whatever this is out.
Okay.
My instinct was to, because I don't know what exactly this creature has, but I get the impression we'll go a nice classic, long claws kind of situation. First thing that comes in front of me, a nice claw swipe.
Spectacular. All right, so first things first, we'll resolve Gerard's there. Gerard, make a strike roll for me. Ella, make a reflexes check for me.
You hate to see it.
Oof.
All right,
Do I get-
so I'm still rolling here.
Do I get fate tokens for...
You get fate tokens for power, yeah.
Even as Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know this is going to be a fail unless...
So look, my strike roll is only a d6, but I had it explode 3 times. Hang on, I'm bad at math. So that's 19.
I got a 2.
Okay. I'd say with a lot of certainty then, you absolutely, your hand wraps around Ella's throat here and you start to channel these flames as pyrokinesis. What do these flames look like to Gerard?
These will be a lot more like a muddied, dark red flame, less sort of like auburn, more crimson, and they seem to pull away from the veins that are exposing the blood coming from his hand.
Absolutely. As you grasp around the throat there, this flame flares up and you can see the same symbol painted on the roof of this room. Ella, mark down another medium injury for me there, or just a medium injury. And how are you responding to that? It is your turn. You're clawing out of him?
Yeah, the claw will then be at Gerard if he's in such close proximity.
All right, make a strike roll for me. And then Gerard, make a reflexes roll.
I've got 70 failures. I'm going to blow that up. Oh, that didn't do as much. I got a 12.
I got a 1.
Ooh. Okay. Ella, you're watching this like a play that you can't look away from as your hand extends out and you can see just these nails extend out as you just grab Gerard under the chin there and just dig some claws into the nape of his neck. Gerard, you take a minor injury for me.
Sure.
Excellent.
Oof. All right, Jacob, your turn. What are you doing?
Okay. So Auggie has his shotgun filled with still have the salt rounds in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he, when they came in, he heard Penny, holds it up and goes, Son of a puts down, opens it, pulls out one of the rounds and bites it off, bites the end, goes up and is going to try and shove it down her throat to get Anna out by having her ingest the salt directly.
I love this. I feel like this is a muscle roll because you're just trying to pour it down there.
Okay.
All right. Ella, reflexes.
Yeah,
or grit. Your
I'd say
choice.
grit for that
Let's
one,
go grit.
I think.
Stuff.
Especially if I've been kind of like
8.
incapacitated by Gerard. Ooh.
I'm gonna use a fate token to have my second one explode.
Oh, never mind then.
So that's gonna be a 20.
Yeah, that's a 3. I've got so many fate tokens that I was like, I'll try and explode by D8, and then you're like, I'm gonna explode. Yeah, never mind.
Okay. Here's what happens. Auggie, you come up there. You can see that this girl is possessed now, and you know that you have to get this out of her before it causes any lasting damage. You rip the top of this salt round there, pour it down her throat. Anna, you see this coming, and Ella, you see it too. And for you, this is good. But for Anna, you hear this screaming in your mind, this reluctance to ever let go of the vessel that it's found. Mark down a major injury for me.
I have a question.
Yes.
What happens then if I get 3 injuries?
I'll tell you in just a second, my friend.
Oh no.
Mark it down for me. Stunning. The spirit reels in your head, and you all see this physical manifestation of this creature just crawling out of the back of SpectreElla's head. These long hooked hands starting to reach out the back as it pulls itself out and boom, 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 tumbles down onto the floor there. Ella, you are currently unconscious.
Oh. All right.
As you see Ella hit the deck, you guys have no idea whether she's alive or dead. But you are currently presented with this spirit sitting there, having just clawed its way out of this young girl. And it is Omega's turn. Archie, what are you doing?
So Archie has been, I feel like everything's happening and simultaneously in a way.
Exactly.
But he's been kind of watching what has happened and truthfully seeing if their efforts were helpful. Not helpful, if their efforts were worthwhile. And he noticing that now this ghost, this spirit has been shunted away. He notes Ella, but he doesn't think about her right now. He's going to, for the first time, at least you all have seen, take off his gloves. He has no gun is in his hand. He takes off his gloves, and you see these almost tattoo markings going up his hands on both sides. And he places his fingers to his mouth, and he closes his mouth. And as he does, he's going to start muttering under his breath. I happen to also be gifted. But specifically gifted with the power of secrets, prepared by God. I want to try to bind this ghost so they can't move. Specifically, you hear them say "manite" and just close, and they're just gonna focus. You see those lines start to glow on their hands.
Incredible. All right. This feels like a lore check for me.
Great.
All right. Give me that lore check, and I'm going to give her a grit check to resist.
Sorry. There we go. That is a 14 for me.
Oof. Okay. Her grit is not that good. She has a D6. Incredible. This binding takes effect. You can see these ethereal shackles actually clasp onto her legs that just lock her down and hold her in place. And you can see now this tormented woman just standing there screaming, trying to wrest herself away from these shackles that you've now put down there. But she can't move.
Now, another question. As she is bound, I know that she appears to be very vengeful right now, but does she seem like she's acting? This is hard to say. Does it seem like a part of who Anna was is still there, or is this just a creature that needs to go?
I think probably with the lore check you made with the 14, specifically the fact that you were trying to bind her, I think what happens is you come across another binding. while you're attempting it, and you've effectively got to circumvent that to put yours in place. So I think that you clock, okay, there's binding that you've just put in, but there's also binding above. Whatever that thing on the roof is probably holding her in place here. I would say that there is a portion of her left, but she's more compelled than anything right now.
Okay, and I know if from our history and understanding of this place, multiple people died here. Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. As you see him bind and look down, you see him like hesitate or to kind of tilt his head. And while he's looking up, he's not looking up at a specific thing because there's no symbol in this room.
There is a symbol in this room. Yes.
Oh, there's a symbol.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
He looks up, looks back at the others. I can get rid of that if you give me time. If you give me time, that's the voice.
Incredible. Okay, I love that. That'll be the end of your turn there. Penny, it is your turn. Ella's just fallen. Archie has bound this ghost. What are you doing?
Well, I was going to say, so Anna is kind of an easy target for me, so that blue rune on my revolver kind of glows again as I go ahead and just take my shot.
Incredible. All right, make a strike roll for me.
Yep.
And she will make a reflexes roll.
And then, oh, Jesus, throwing my thing around. And then because I have sharpshooter, so I can add 3 to this since I'm using a gun.
Absolutely.
Okay, that explodes.
Ooh.
Let's go. Okay. That's a 30.
Yeah, I don't think her 7 on reflexes can actually match that, funnily enough. All right, incredible. Give me 1 second.
Penny's a sniper. Like, she'll take something out.
All right, incredible. You line up the shot there. You see this blue rune flare to life as the bullet that seemingly looks like a regular bullet manages to find some kind of purchase in this incorporeal being. And you can see for a second the form almost kind of stabilize. She is going to take a minor injury. Stunning. Spectacular turn. Anything else?
No.
Just to understand, she shot the ghost while they're bound.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. You can see now that the form itself, having been bound and also shot by this runic bullet, it seems like whatever she is going to attempt to do now, she can't do. It's disrupted some kind of essence of her being. Okay. Father, you're up, my friend.
It's just a fact. So we saw glimpses of Anna in that once the bullet took purchase. Or...
Absolutely. You can see this figure kind of like almost solidifying.
It's going to be very unexciting. I'm going to draw my pistol and just kind of hold my action in a sense because I want to see Archie potentially break whatever's holding them in place. And then if it separates them in some form, I will shoot. But I don't want to do anything with the risk of potentially hurting Anna. So just holding my gun at the ready.
I love it. Good call. Okay. Gerard, what are you doing?
Look, I think I'll probably Gerard will follow suit. He'll press his hand up to the injury and check for the severity of it.
It's
Am I bleeding out?
You're not bleeding out, but it's a decent scratch. It's not going to affect you mechanically, but it definitely is. It's going to leave a mark.
Interesting. He will walk up with the flame still in his hand, if I may, and just sort of hold it at the ready, awaiting your lead, Sir Archie.
I realized something stupid that I would actually like to do. I want to check if SpectreElla is okay. It's probably a good fatherly thing of me to do, so rush over and check.
Solid babysitting duty. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was about to say, thanks for doing your job.
I was too excited about my gun. I wanted to shoot things.
It's crazy that we bought the youth pastor and he's not doing his job. Okay, that's a spectacular segue, because what I was going to say is, as Ella, you are slipping into unconsciousness, what are your thoughts? What's happening here?
So she would have had this possession takeover, and everything that she's ever searched for has to come true in this moment. And so watching this backseat, watching her attack people that have been, for all intents and purposes, very, very kind to her, especially considering like the nature that she's of her industry. This has like been true kindness, true support, and also just having people around. Just kind of sometimes content creation can be a little bit lonely unless we have amazing people. Meta shout out to here right now. And so as the form exits her and as she slips into unconsciousness, I think this is one of those moments where she is recognizing that there is more to life. There is more than numbers. There is more than getting that YouTube video, and it's a very quick moment, but it is that recognition that there is something greater out in this world.
I love that. And I think as an interesting kind of parallel to that, the last thing you see as your head hits the floor with a pretty resounding bump, and you see underneath the bed a camcorder, like a camera. Father,
Really noted.
you go and check on Elikia. I think without too much effort, you can tell that she is in fact alive, but just unconscious currently.
Cool. That's a good development. I think. Is there anything I can pop her up on so she's not just lying on the ground? I guess.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the debris around here is like burnt. You'd probably have to like take off a jacket and like stow it under her head or something.
Yeah, I'd probably do something along those lines.
Okay.
Take off the priest, whippling abs underneath our shirtless Father Montgomery.
Oh no, he's hot.
That's Daddy Montgomery.
You roll up your priest's garb there, prop SpectreElla's head up underneath. Okay. Auggie, what are you doing?
Seeing that Archie has her bound, that Penny has shot Anna, that Gerard is ready for the attack, I think he's going to turn his attention to Ella as well. And he's going to take his rucksack off and dig through it, and using the always ready, he's going to pull out a little water bottle that has written on it "new." And is literally just going to open it up and pour a little bit of water from the new river into her mouth. For all those who are unaware, the New River is the second oldest river in the world, the oldest in North America, and is one of two rivers that flows south to north. So he's gonna pour a little bit and go, listen, I don't know if this is gonna make a difference, if it's gonna help, but tastes mighty good, so drink up, little one.
I really like that. I really enjoy that. Take a fate token for that. That was stunning. You gently pour this new water into our unconscious SpectreElla on the floor there, and you can see, not quite coming back to consciousness, but a sense of peace settle over for now. Very nice. Okay.
And he's also then going to look over to the father and be like, is this... I don't understand this one here, but, I like hers, so we's going to keep hers good.
Couldn't agree more.
Oh, incredible. All right, Omega. Ghost is bound. Bullet keeping her semi-corporeal. Symbol above. What's the spec?
Oh. Archie wants to respond to Auggie. He just doesn't because he's in focus mode. He'll come to her second, and as he's keeping this room, keeping the spell on hold, and again he looks back up. He kind of nods his head, takes that knife that he has that was stowed in his sleeve, cuts his hand open to release some blood, smears it for a moment, and then slays his hands. And as he does again, those tattoos are starting to glow. And you all almost hear like around. There's the ambiance of like shh, shh, like something literally telling you all to be quiet. Not physically, not forcing, but there's just this ambiance of presence. As he begins to speak, ego sum filia natre, cum oscolane lune, dimmi vulstem libratum, remite via miam fiam invicta. He's going to continue to say this binding releasing spell to make this go away.
Incredible. First up, take a fate token because I loved the Latin. That was stunning. And then give me a law check at advantage. Take the higher number.
Can we all give Omega a fate token?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody that needs to can give a fate token. We're gonna say
But that's to Omega, not
Archie's fine. DC was gonna be 20. I'll tell you that now. Because you're trying to
crit with the advantage plus a 10, so that's 30.
The crazy thing is, I'm like, I'll set a high DC because it's pretty hard, but the dice.
To be fair, that's my 20. That's my 21.
The dice.
Shall we iterate? Archie doesn't fail.
Editors, play that clip back. Play that clip back. All right, incredible. Here's what happens. You all feel this presence, like it's almost like library-esque, as you get told to shush by like a stern like matron of a library, effectively. As you all quiet down, you can hear this incorporeal shh, 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 as it radiates around the room. Archie, in this commanding tone, starts speaking this Latin, and you guys are familiar roughly with Latin. Everyone's had to do an exorcism at some point before, right? But the speed at which it flows off is impressive. It's basically fluent. As you see a crack start to form at his feet, that starts to snake its way up the wall of the hotel there. And you see that it hits the roof, lands at the edge of this symbol here, and it's like it's trying to force its way through it before it eventually just cracks it asunder. And you can see like a portion of the roof itself start to dip down a little bit, not to the point of breaking or damaging, but the symbol itself completely wrought in two. You can see Anna here standing, looks up at the symbol, initially with fear as it goes to crack, and you see once that it's completely broken in half, a wash crosses this featureless, eyeballless face as a brief glimpse of this woman that she once was flits back across the face, and she looks over at Archie and just says, "Thank you."
You all would note that there are blood tears that are flowing down as he's saying this incantation, and as it finishes, and he looks down. Don't thank me. Thank the library.
Do you release the shackles on this? Because for all intents and purposes, she is like an incorporeal form still. She just returned to some normalcy. You release these shackles?
As long as he feels confident that the other bindings upon them are gone, he will release his bindings. That doesn't mean she is not a bad creature, but at least something else isn't influencing. So now she makes a choice, then she can take those consequences.
Absolutely. What happens is as the bindings drop, you can see for a brief second she looks to the roof almost in disbelief that whatever was binding her here previously is gone. She takes one last look at you, looks at Ella with a sympathetic, almost apologetic look on the face, and then begins to just float up through the roof, seemingly able to do it now. And you see for a brief second, it's not quite a hand and it's not quite a shadow, but something tries to grab the ankle as she drifts upwards, but it can't, and it grasps through it and it disappears, and this spirit just disappears through the roof. Wow. I will say at this point, Ella, you come back to consciousness. This water that Auggie gave you, truly the freshest water you've ever had. You feel like you've just received basically like a full night's rest and your injuries are cleared.
Ooh. Did you see the
no.
It was real. My God, they're real! My God, they're real!
Ella! Oh my gosh.
Henny, they're real. Henny. I grab her the side of her face. They're real! Oh my god!
Yes, I know.
You know they're real! They're real!
And like looking at each other because now we're making like intense eye contact, and she's just like, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay.
I look between.
I know that they're real, and I'm so sorry.
There's a camcorder. And I'm like scrambling. Sorry, Jacob, was there something you were...
Oh, no. I was just going to say, I look at Penny, and then I look at Father Montgomery, and I'm like, I thought she said she's seen one of these before. So, God damn it. Oh.
I just kind of scrambled to get the camcorder that was
Absolutely.
left over.
Yeah, you're brilliant. You pulled that out. This is new. This is not part of the original hotel. This is something that was left behind quite recently. It's definitely out of batteries, but there's no world in which you don't have a spare for it.
I'm always ready, baby. Let's chuck the back. I got whatever it needs. Which cable does it need? I got them all.
I'm trying to think of what the worst video camera brand would be. It's probably like a Panasonic. Crazy.
Panasonic, we're sorry.
We're never getting the Panasonic sponsorship now. Damn it. Brilliant. You plug the battery in there and flick open the screen, and we see effectively what we saw in the first episode's cold open. We see your two friends entering this hotel. We see them capture the spirit of Anna Dawes on camera, and we see them get attacked. But what we continue to see, as it kept recording, is the camcorder fall under the bed and capture what happens next that we didn't see. You see the door open after you hear heavy footsteps tromping up the halls, and you see two figures in these large red cloaks look over at the two bodies on the floor, and you can still see the ghost of Anna Dawes there flickering, but they pay her no mind like a chained up dog. You see that they grab the two legs of the young people that we saw and just begin to drag them out of the room. And that's when the battery dies.
I'll look to the door and see, like, kind of just in reflex of, like, that's where it came out. Do you look, obviously you guys know so much more about this than I do. What does this? Do you guys recognize this at all? There are more people, like. And so basically, SpectreElla is just going to make sure everyone's seen the footage.
Absolutely. And you all see the same thing now. SpectreElla pulls out like a little monitor so that everyone can watch it properly. You all see this naturally. My videographer sensibilities wouldn't allow otherwise. You guys all see these fairly large, imposing figures in these red cloaks pull the two young people out of the room. And you can hear briefly for a while as they begin to tromp further back into the motel.
We have to go like SpectreElla is like she uses the term friends, but like she wasn't necessarily that close. It's kind of just like the people who know people. Like but she wants to go make sure that if they are here, if they are nearby, she would like to go find them. So we have to go find them. That's. I don't want the same thing that happened to me happen to these people. This is not
If we've learned anything, Ella, perhaps you shouldn't be the one taking charge. We'll have a discussion, and I think Father Montgomery's going to head over towards Archie. You read the symbols. Something sleeps or lies beneath the mountain, is my interpretation.
If SpectreElla hears that, she will say, "What do you mean? That's what Anna said. She was saying it in my head, in my ears. That's exactly what she said to me."
You're gonna see, as it's taken him a while to come back to ultimately, because he doesn't do that often. He takes out what basically looks like hand sanitizer spray. He sprays the wound. You see him wince because it is alcohol and a little more to wipe off all the blood, and he puts his gloves back on. Yes, that was my assumption. Beneath the mountain, and just so happens there is a mountain range close by. But, and he will slowly kind of stand up, stumble for a moment, because again, old, get up fully, look over at SpectreElla. What do you expect to happen now?
I don't know. I don't know. This is everything I wanted and everything I assumed couldn't happen. But everything that is on my mind right now is Logan and Maya. That whatever has taken them away, we need.
Remember when I asked you, are you afraid of death?
Yes.
Are you aware that if we were not here, that would have been your fate?
I think this is the difference that I need to now make, because I am very, very aware that without you, I wouldn't be here. But without us, Maya and Logan, they also might not be here. That is the difference that we can make.
I got to put this into your mind, little twink. She might. They might not be alive to begin with. So
what? We just leave them? We just don't look for them?
Listen, I'm just telling you that you got to take. Hey, no. Listen, you ran off once before. You ain't gonna do that again. We are not chasing after your little ass. All right, that is not happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Is Ella still walking?
No, she's learning her lesson.
Okay.
She stops in front of the doorway.
Yeah. You all would have saw, not SpectreElla, you would have seen him as he started to walk away, reach for what seems to be a book. And this book looks like something you would just get from a library. You even see in the inside has like a checkout system. And you would have seen a pen or some kind of writing utensil that has a spot within this book. And you saw him about to start writing a name.
Ooh.
Okay.
But as he stops, he closes the book.
Has Auggie ever seen this book before?
Yes, you know if the name is written in there, they will get erased by the god of secrets and confidentiality.
Cool. As soon as he sees it, I give you a look like, no.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing as you're standing in this room? You know that Maya... Why am I forgetting their names? I wrote them.
Logan.
Maya and Logan, thank you.
Logan.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking about other things. You know that Maya and Logan have been taken deeper into the motel. It sounds like they were dragged further down.
I think
might be a tunnel system. Sorry, go ahead.
I think Penny kind of did the same thing as she was doing, like, as she was walking ahead before when they first walked into the motel. She was looking for, footprints, tracks in, like, the dust and debris that would have looked more recent. So while everybody's talking, she's not going to fully leave the room yet, but she is, like, keeping her eyes on the floor, and she's kind of, like, looking around, almost walking ahead, but she's still staying within, like, the, line of sight in the door, because she doesn't want Auggie to yell at her too. But she's looking down like any of the halls, seeing if she can find like the dragging, seeing if she can find marks, footprints, anything that looks like it matches what we saw and heard in the camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if she can see it, she's just going to call everybody else and just be like, I think I know where they took them.
I'm not going to make you roll for it because that is something that you would all know how to do. And you can see that at some point, like, Logan probably had a scratch in his head and there's like a long like drag of like now brown dried blood that's just kind of sunk into the carpet. You can see that they are being dragged downstairs.
Okay.
You alert everybody?
Yeah, I'm going to say, I think I know where they took them.
Okay.
We can talk about everything else later, but I think the first thing we need to do is find them.
And let's go.
Whether it's their bodies or them. Penny is going to hold Ella's hand.
Aww.
I'm gonna hold. And at the same time, Ella is going to pop her hand on the gun that she was given. She is quite comfortable handling a gun. It's not necessarily the thing that people would assume she would be good at, but she's you know, her dad is a bit of a let's go out to the back and shoot some cans type.
Nice.
I think while they're walking, Penny does take a moment to talk to Ella, like while they're still kind of keeping an eye out, but she just starts talking and is just like, I did not know that this was going to be as
Penny,
real as it got.
You don't need it.
I wanted to do this because I wanted to be nice, and I do like your content, and I didn't think that this was going to be a real thing. I didn't want you to learn that
Ella's gonna step in front of Penny, and she's gonna stop in front of her and goes, Penny, you have opened my eyes. Do not apologize for that.
No.
I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't been here on time.
It doesn't matter. We have to be here on time for the others. Even if it's just to find out what happened to them.
Okay, you're right. And she's gonna kind of shake it off, and be like, okay. Brace herself. She's like, I'm back to this is my real job. This is what I do. I'm a hunter. Game face. Yeah. She's like, okay.
With everybody locked in, you begin to traipse your way down. Jacob, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was going to say, as they're leaving, Augie's going to hand Archie a little, like, semi-clean cloth. It's not like his normal handkerchief, but it's as best as Auggie can do, and it's going to be like, you got a little on your face. I figure you might want to deal with that.
I don't have a mirror.
Oh, may I?
He doesn't say anything.
He's gonna look it a little bit. He goes, "Oh shit, I know. It's all right." And he's gonna wipe off the blood tears and move like the glasses a little bit.
He does the monocle. He just has the monocle.
Oh yeah, that's right. He just moves the monocle a little bit, and it's just like, I really like when you speak Latin. It's so sexy. And then it's gonna be like,
not a sexy language. It is a language built within history and
listen here. Well, listen here. If it ain't a sexy language, then you're doing something that's making it real spicy. So I just wanted to.
We should go.
We cut away from this as the pairs begin to walk their way down. Gerard and Father, I think you guys are probably bringing up the rear at this point. My two little twin flames. What's going on back there?
Gerard will lean to Father for a second.
Twin flames.
Thank you.
It's a good title. Father, I couldn't help but notice the radiance about the way you entered the building there. Is this normal for men of the cloth?
Not all men of the cloth have God's gifts, I suppose.
How did you uncover it?
What business is that of yours, Gerard?
Well, I'll gesture to the injury on my hand. I uncovered my gift in a strange manner that I haven't been able to share with anyone before. And I thought perhaps maybe you could enlighten me. If it's not too much.
Okay, this is fun. I think I forgot that Father is very shirtless right now, and you can probably notice several scars across his kind of lower abdomen region that have significantly aged.
Bad.
I like to think of all of my scars as a sermon of sorts, if you will. And in my last rendezvous with a demonic entity, I suppose they... I'm quite confused by my last run-in with a ghost spirit, because it seems to seemingly disappear. And since then, I've been blessed with God's gifts, if you will. So, if every scar is a sermon, perhaps God has just taught me a new one.
I appreciate the honesty and the stories. Your last run-in, though, you said was with a demon. My father was intricately bound with those forms of entities, and my last encounter with him bestowed me with an eye-opening experience. And perhaps this might be one of your greatest sermons, Father, your teachings from above. Perhaps scars are, for each of us, some form of scripture.
And I will pull up my sleeve, and there's just veins that are risen, but almost as if almost like scarification that just match the vascular paths of his arm.
I think in response, Father will look at you in the eyes, but perhaps not all gifts come from the Lord above. And I think for a brief second you'll see his eye color flicker to a different color, and then flicker back to normal, and he'll give you a wide smile, and try and divert the conversation back.
We cut away from that. Everybody take a fate token. And I just want to say, Omega, you killed me with that line in the chat. I can't.
So good.
What am I going to do now? Okay.
Oops, okay.
If I do it, I'm as bad as the Supernatural creators. I can't believe you guys have been playing me.
I have to ask. I'm not in the scene and I don't care, but I have to ask, what color did the ice shift to?
Yeah, Father, what color did the ice?
Let's say like a deep, almost orangey yellow in a way.
Okay.
We all know what that means.
I don't know whether I'm keeping this in the episode or not, but I'm thinking about it. Okay. We cut away from that conversation as you guys continue to make your way deeper into the motel itself. At one point, you reach a service door, and I think, Penny, that's where you clock that this is where they've been taken into the basement. Swinging open the door there, you guys are on high alert now. You can feel whispers around, but there's nothing that's directly trying to engage or affect you at this point. It just feels like the walls here have seen so much, and they're trying to let you know. As you guys make your way down into this service area / basement / generator room, you can see that, again, completely gutted by the fire here, the same symbol matching on the roof. And I think you're probably starting to put it together now. Each room itself, the symbol is always directly in the center, or at least the best of the center as they could make it to be. As you guys head in further, it is completely dark down here, flashlights on, getting glimpses of cleaning chemicals that have since completely evaporated and burned. There's old bedding and towels that are rotted and moldy. The scent down here is a plethora of just foul combinations. You can see further in, dragging your way through the muck here, there is another door. Opening that, it leads further into the bowels of the hotel here. Here you can see there's generators that have long since been burnt out. And again, the same place is completely gutted. But in the corner of the room, there is another door that is completely different in make and structure from the other ones. This is old. It is ancient.
SpectreElla's actually gonna try something. She's gonna pull out her little ovulus, which is basically a little if there are spirits around, it will have just singular words that come up as a communication device. And so she's going to switch it on. And I would actually like to use, if possible, the hunter's instinct that I took, where we can ask the GM about surroundings, NPC, or the like, and the GM must answer honestly. And so SpectreElla is going to pull this out and say, like, ooh. No, I'm getting nervous. I'm about to ask. What are you?
Incredible. The Ovilus powers up. You can see it takes a second there as it finds its little signal down the bottom. And naturally, because I wrote it, I truly must answer honestly. You just hear it goes, "Trapped. We are trapped." And the words pop up, 1, 2, 3.
Behind the door, and I'll spend another fate token.
We are trapped here.
I'm gonna look at the party. I'm not doing anything rash these days.
Really quickly, as we were walking, because we got to keep the gay. As we were walking, he would have been reaching into a compartment that has a layer within a layer within his suitcase. And as he pulls something out, you'll see he pulls out basically a small little black box. It's very like a cube. And he's going to look at Auggie, and we'll come back up next to Auggie and say, well, don't read much into this, but considering the situation we are in, I had these made, so if one gets hurt, the other would help ease the pain. They were made by the bone of Hymenaeus, the Greek god of... and he opens the box, and there are 2 matching rings. I'm using my 2 fate code tokens for the across the pond feature to produce a magical item. Essentially, think what's the dang spell in D&D?
Warding bond.
When you have warding bond, exactly. Essentially, warding bond. Where if one of us would get hurt, the pain would be halved with both of them.
Yeah.
And he'll just if you are wanting to protect yourself. And I will say, you think he's had that box for a long time.
Yeah. He goes, Auggie, I'm Auggie. You're Archie. Archie, are you... Is you asking me to...
No, I said do not read into it. This is for safety purposes at the moment.
Archibald, it will be my honor to wear one of these rings alongside you. And he takes it and he puts it on and he goes, I don't give a damn. And he's going to go and give you a kiss.
He does not stop it. He does not stop it.
Oh my god. Dude.
If you see him untense as it happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Auggie just looks like a schoolgirl, just beaming as he's just looking at this ring, which he has not put on his left ring finger, as a very clear sign to be this is not a wedding ring. I'm respecting that. But it's on his middle finger, right next to it.
And you will note that it is slightly tight for your middle finger. It does fit to the ring finger. He will slip the other one onto. He knows what it was intended for, so he puts it on his ring finger.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. You know what I'm gonna say. You both get a fate token. Okay. You made me feel something. Okay. Ella, cutting back away from this beautiful moment for a second. I hate to drag us back into the genre, but
Well, I did it now before we die. So
No, good call.
you just threw up the
Now we
biggest
have
death
benefits.
flag. Like, oh, okay. Well, now I can't kill him. I'm going to look horrid. Okay. Dragging us back into the genre for a second, Ella, as you're asking the questions on the Ovulus there, the name Elias Silver pops up too, which is strange because you know how Ovuluses work. They're like coded off dictionaries, so they shouldn't have like proper nouns or names in them. But the name Elias Silver.
Also, at this point, Ella has dropped all of her recording equipment. She's just fully focused on trying to find the people who are dragged away.
Locked in. Yeah.
Elias, does that ring about Penny? Does it? I mean, you wrote about this place.
Would I recognize the name at all?
I think, I don't know if you would, Penny, because you travel a lot. This isn't your home turf. I know that you have connections to it, but what I will say is I feel like maybe Auggie, if he's not too busy and overheard the name Elias, you would clock that Elias, and you remember this because you knew him, was the owner of this hotel.
Could I to make it so that way I'm not like, oh yeah, I definitely hear it. Could I roll something to see if I am able to pick up?
Absolutely. Let's.
And I think if you roll high enough, it would be the Ovulus with the funny voice that you would hear if you can hear it.
Let's do a reflexes check to see if you can clock it. I think the DC is going to be 8.
You know what? I'm going to use a fate token to make that explode.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
How close?
it's by 1.
I'll
Maybe,
I'll give you a fate token.
Nice.
All right.
And I think that we'll consider the fake token given where it's like Elias, so like Alice saying it over and over again. What's Elias Silver?
Yeah,
What
I'd say Ella and Penny are discussing it together, and you're like,
is
Elias.
that like the inn? The Silver Inn?
I tried to do research before I came, but I don't remember the name Elias.
Elias Silver.
Elias Silver.
Why is he talking about that son of a bitch?
You know, look, this is my little Ovulus, and it's weird because it doesn't normally like Silver. Yeah, I've heard it say Silver so many times, but Elias is not meant to have names.
It's not supposed to say names or proper nouns. It's kind of supposed to pick up voices and.
Connor, question: what year is it? What year we said?
We set it pretty loosey goosey. It's probably like early 2000s ish,
Okay.
like a little bit later on, where it would make a lot of sense.
So there would be any Timu.
No Timu, but there is eBay. We're on the precipice.
Auggie know that Timu is the thing? We should know what that is.
Okay, super duper quick. My mother knows what Timu is, so I can. Yeah. Timu infects all. No.
Yeah, cool. Just wanted to.
No, but eBay, perhaps.
Yeah, no, he. You sure you bought that from a reputable individual? You know, maybe someone just.
I mean, it cost me $2,000.
You spent $2,000 on that? I only spent like $100 on mine.
I made mine out of spare parts from my garage.
And then
What the hell's you doing?
the Ovulus just goes, scammed.
All right. So
Someone's trapped here. I don't know if it's mine. I don't know if it's Logan. I don't know if it's Elias. But what is this door?
And as you look over to the door now, I'll paint a little bit of a better picture. The door itself has been hewn from the rock itself, the absolute foundation here. You can see that there is like a surprisingly like modern combination padlock on it, but then set in the center of the door is effectively this small little altar bowl.
Father?
Church collection. Anyone got any loose change?
Can I go look at the bowl? Can I see? I just want to go look in it, see if anything
You
is in there.
absolutely
If anyone
can.
left a collection in there.
Yeah, absolutely. As you head over there, you see that there's like a small little plaque emblazoned on the top, and it says, "What is cherished must be surrendered, and what binds you must be released. Only then will you find the way."
I'm gonna read that out loud so everybody can hear it. What is cherished must be surrendered.
And what binds you
So an
must be
offering is
released.
something personal.
Does it seem like whatever's there has been left there for a while, or does it seem like coincidentally it's fresh?
Inside the bowl, having a look in, you can see there's flaked, dried blood in there.
So we have to give it something personal?
No. We don't have to do anything. Someone already has. Just cursory glance. Does it seem like other ways past this area? Does it seem like something's in the shadows? Like now, just like what's here or where would they have gone past this?
It looks like the door itself would be the only point of exit underneath here. This is...
Okay, so the door.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely
gotcha.
the door. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And there is that combination lock on there, a 3 combination lock. That looks like a newer addition than you'd expect from like
Is
a
the-
sacrificial bowl.
The lock is locked right now, right? It doesn't look
Yeah.
like, oh, someone opened it and then walked in.
The lock
It's-
is locked. Yeah.
Auggie, this wouldn't lead to under a mountain, would it?
Auggie, you know that we are in the oldest mountains in the world, older than Bones, as far as the Appalachians go. It is very, very likely this leads under the mountain.
Yeah.
Listen
here. When John Danville wrote Country Roads, he never visited West Virginia. But he got one damn thing right. These mountains are older than life, older than the trees. Yeah, we going into the mountain.
Ella will say, "What's behind the door?" And I'm, as a player, going to spend a fate token to see what the obelisk says.
I like that ability. That's fun.
Really, you're a genius.
Ella.
Rapunzel, eat your heart out.
Rapunzel could never. It comes up on there and it just says salvation.
Nor Cleor.
Yeah, Nar.
Is there? You said there's a combination lock.
Absolutely.
How many numbers?
3.
Or is it the numbers? Or
3 numbers, and you can put double digits on each of them. But I will say, because you're all like, you've all done a little bit of B&E in your past, like, nothing is stopping you from just, boom, shooting this lock off if you really wanted to.
Oh, absolutely. But do we alert what might be behind the door with the guns?
Does it seem like we have to put something in the offering and undo the combination at the same, like, in order to get the door open?
Give
Or
me-
do we just have to?
Anyone that wants
Try
to
and
can
see
give
that.
me a lore check, and the DC is just going to be a 12.
Okay.
I failed!
No. Exploded.
And that's where the episode ends.
That's a good.
32.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, 32. Clem, were you going to say something?
I was tempted to potentially try and ask the obelisk about numbers, but I want to see how the 32 plays out.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that if need be. So 32.
I didn't roll.
Okay, you didn't roll. Anyone else?
I got a 1, so I took my fate token.
Okay, wonderful.
I have 3, so
Okay.
I also took my fate token.
I also took my fate token.
All right. Look,
Oh no.
I don't know why I try with lore checks. I have a D6.
it's okay. It's okay. You know what? I think our 32 might bring up the ranks somehow. Father, you step over here, and I think your joke initially about like the church offerings. You think a little bit more about it, and you're like, what's the requirement of like church and whatnot? You know, like you have to give like you have to put your faith in something. You have to give something that doesn't really exist. Like, until you make it real to something else, basically. So in the sense that absolutely you know that there has to be some kind of, mortal sacrifice in the sense that, yeah, you probably need to drop a little bit of blood in here, but it feels like there's something more that needs to go in there. And I think for a second, I think the only person that sees it for thematic here is just Gerard, because I like where that was going. But your eyes do kind of like flicker over a little bit for a second into that deep kind of ambery yellow. And you realize that to get through here, you're going to have to give up something. Whether that's a memory or a skill or some part of yourself to get through.
Okay. I'd like to. I think...
just before you give something up, Ella will kind of make the out loud suggestion. I'm not spending a fate token for this, so you don't have to answer as a GM. But just kind of say, like, would we all have to give something? Archie already said someone did. Or is it just...
Now, really quickly, that was just what Father Montgomery...
Yeah. So the father has...
We don't know that we have to give something else.
Not quite yet, but you can definitely see there's like the offering of blood. So in the sense of like having to give something... Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll look over at Gerard. You seem like the type who's become accustomed with locks. Perhaps you could just try picking it or something along those lines. I'm going to pull out the dagger you gave me, Gerard, and cut my hand and hold it over the bowl. And kind of, I don't know if this is cool, because it's not really a stat.
It'd be crazy if I said no.
I want to give up my faith.
Ooh.
If that's enough.
It is cool. He was right. Absolutely. Holy shit, my friend. Okay. You slice the hand open with this blade that Gerard gave you, and it cuts deep. It hurts. And you're not sure whether it's because of the circumstances or what you're giving up, but as you hold your hand above the bowl and just drop a little bit of blood into there, you can see that as it hits the sacrificial pool here, it drops, and you see it turns into water as it just begins to slowly start to fill this thing up. And you feel like something has been forcibly pulled out of you that you are never going to get back. Gerard, are you trying to pick the locks?
Yeah, sure am. I will grin a little bit and hold both the fact that I've seen the eyes shift as well as feel the fact he's used the dagger. And just sort of knowingly nod towards Father and produce from within my breast pocket just a very intricate set of almost like skeleton key style lockpicks. And
yeah, you can give me a reflex
definitely
check.
Try.
Yeah, reflex check to unlock it. It is just a padlock. So the DC is only 5. You just need to beat a 5.
7.
Okay, beautiful. You definitely unlock this small little padlock. You see it falls away, and you've got the small little padlock in your hand now. And as you take it off there, you can see that the sacrificial bowl, untethered now by the door and the lock, seems to just click down once. Way down by whatever the father gave up.
Does it feel like we all need to give up something?
I would say absolutely it does.
Of course.
Oh, no, I did send you a message.
Oh, thank you.
Ella knows what she would give up if she has to give something up. So I will wander over and see the success of what has just occurred and kind of look to the father and say, "What? So we are supposed to give something then?"
I'll just look at you and nod.
She's gonna get her entire backpack, look inside it, see all of her recording equipment, her laptop, her spirit equipment, everything that has been connected to her content creation, and she'll dump the entire bag.
Into the bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Miraculously, as it hits, you see that it starts to short out and fizzle as it sinks to the bottom, and the bowl fills up a little bit more and clicks down. And you can feel
Penny.
numbers that you no longer care about rise somewhere in the distance. Subscribers booming, but it doesn't matter anymore.
This is how we make a difference. Just a step back.
Penny's gonna step forward, and out of her messenger bag, she's gonna pull out a folded up paper. And not sure if anybody else sees this, but for the audience, she's gonna unfold it, and it is a photograph of herself when she was a little baby with both of her parents, and she's going to drop it in, and it is a hope that she has had for her whole life that she would one day meet her real father. She's going to drop it in.
You see it floats on the surface of the water for a second before something seemingly just drags it underneath. The hope sunk. And the door clicks down one more. Who's next? Auggie, what are you giving?
Auggie is rummaging through his pack and pulls out a bottle of sweet iced tea for a moment. It's like, I love it. Doctor says I got to give it up, but and then it looks over at Ella and it's like, oh, it's not the same. And literally looks at Penny and goes, I'm gonna love you forever. You'll always be my baby girl. And he's gonna put that love into the bowl.
Oh. You see it fills up. Archie. I'm trying to be so time conscious that I'm tearing up.
I'm going to be so real with you. This entire sequence goes against his entire character. He can't give up a secret.
Yeah. You don't have to give something up if you don't want to. Someone else can give up more. If you're willing to make someone else make the sacrifice.
Do I clock your hesitancy, Archie?
Oh, absolutely. You see him staring at this thing like...
Sir Archibald, if I may, you gave up more than necessary when putting yourself at risk of binding spell. Allow me to perhaps earn that handshake from earlier then.
And I will walk up to the bowl, undo my top button, and I'm going to remove the ward that is stopping my father from trying to find me. As it clicks off, Gerard will look at it, this sort of like gnarled, root-like pendant.
I've met a man of faith who outweighs you in more ways than one. Come find me.
And I'll drop it in there. And then as I let it go, I'm also going to give up the memory of my mother. Of this distant, beautiful vista of fields of just green and comfort and calm, and just embrace the terror and fear that he's coming after us now.
You see, with that final offering, the bowl overflows. This water now dripping down, viscous and heavy, and as your torches fall over it, you see that it's filled with blood once again as it drops to the ground as the door swings open with a tearing sound. Not quite like stone, but almost like flesh as it starts to pull open. The door reveals a staircase below, just sinking into darkness. This cold air flows up and it carries that scent of earth and iron, and your flashlights are struggling to push through the black, but you all take a step forward anyway. Any final words?
He's going to look back at that bowl. Did it seem like it was stuck to the pedestal?
I would say yes, it was.
That's fine. Then he'll just take the pedestal. Because he knows how much has been given. But at the end of the day, his job is to keep secrets. His job is to keep things like this. He'll make sure it all gets back after this is done.
Father will get up using the dagger and draw his pistol and cut off his rosary beads that were hung around the handle and stare into the abyss with the kind of wielding the dagger and pistol akimbo. May God have mercy on their souls, because I won't. And I step into the void.
You all step forward into the tunnel, this titanic door slamming shut behind you, leaving you plunged in the darkness, only illuminated by your flashlights. And that is where we're going to wrap this episode of Crossroads. Oh my goodness. All right, Omega, I know you have to go straight away. So please, my friend, scatter. Super duper quickly, where can people find you? Quick, give us the plug.
Critical Bard, anywhere, Critical Bard, that's it.
Critical Bard everywhere. Okay, incredible. You can duck off if you want. I'll edit around it. Don't worry.
You're all amazing.
You're incredible. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, let's get through the plugs, and then we can do it. Okay, incredible. Wow, thank you so much for joining that episode of Crossroads. I hope it hurt you as much as it hurt me. Let's go around and tell everyone who we are and where the hell we can find them, starting with Clem. Who the hell are you?
Hello, my name is Clem. You can find me on Twitch at xClementine. I am a just chatting streamer and occasional gamer. I like to cover philosophy and positivity, and I have been playing SpectreElla, now just Ella. We'll see what's going to happen if there is another opportunity for her to come back. But wow, what a journey it has been. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Arlo, who the hell are you?
Hi, I'm Arlo, or Arlentric on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and I'm a TTRPG and D&D content creator. And I have been playing Father Montgomery, but I guess just Montgomery now.
He can still be daddy.
He can still be daddy.
He's my heavenly father. I don't know what you're talking about.
And that's that will be from me. Handball it off to the next person.
All right, Jacob, who the hell are you?
Yeah, I'm Jacob. You can find me on all the socials at JrSchorlunch. That's JrSchorlunch. I am a professional dungeon master, game master, and also commissioner, creator of things. I do cosplay commissions as well as digital art commissions. And I play Augustus Auggie Calhouln, who still loves one less.
But loves forever.
Dude, absolutely. Okay, I'll go to Lockie first. Lockie, who the hell are you? Where can people find you?
Hey, what's up? I'm Lockie. From the Mimic Den, we are on Instagram, branching out TikTok, Blue Sky, Threads, I guess, which is still Instagram.
Soon to be on Spotify.
Soon to be on Spotify. We've just begun the prep for the first leg of our podcast.
Hey, I'm in that.
You are in that, and there will be some cameos from people everywhere. Just keep tuned for that. But I've been playing Gerard Cole. Still playing Gerard Cole. Now, still Gerard Cole.
All right, Sam, bring us home. Bring us home, mate.
I'm Savannah and I'm sad. You can find me and cry with me about this everywhere as the DIY Witch, or you can go find where I like to make more characters that I can cry over at my YouTube channel, Not Quite Novelist. And I have been playing Penny Calhoun Lancaster, now just Penny Lancaster.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. Hi, I'm Cloud Kilconnor. I run this sob fest. You can find me on the Twitches. You can find me on the YouTubes. You can find me on the Instagram. If you see my Twitch schedule and it's wrong, you're wrong. I stream. And if you found this by chance, refunds cannot be established without a valid receipt. Thank you so much, guys. This was such a treat. Everyone say bye, audience.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay